Can if you read it fast enough.
I was like, oh, I'm forgetting something. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting my Rahi tuber. One moment. This isn't Scuff. I just forgot the me that needs to be on screen.
No, I can believe it's Scuff.
I like Scuff. Scuff is fun.
There we go.
takes it-
Here he hopping around. You know what? I didn't put him up because I thought there might be mic troubles. There were mic troubles. I got that fixed. Forgot to put the Rahi tuber up. That's just how that works.
Raymond's Scuff semblance strikes again.
You know, I think this might be a
I'll be
controversial
right
take,
back.
but I don't think there's anything Lily Orchard could have made that it could have been any worse than the Tekken 8 story expansion DLC. Because
boy.
professionals, you can at least argue she's not a professional despite her own claims. Because that was made by professionals. People hired to write this shit.
Welcome to the Tekken 8 Hate Podcast. We are now changing our platform entirely whatsoever. Clearly, Sky Slasher is in charge of the stream, since he knows that we're streaming, and he's deciding to go on this massive tangent that has decided to derail my intro.
Speaking of Lily Orchard, okay.
I'm teasing you, Sky Slasher. No, are you the guy that keeps sending me messages, sending us messages during the streams about, oh, do you like this fighting game or this fighting game or your opinions on this? Are you that guy?
That was me.
How dare you?
Well, I wasted like $16. Totally worth every penny.
Amazing.
Oh.
But
Anyway,
I need to be right
hello
back.
everyone. Welcome back to Bad Fanfiction Night. I am your host, Raymond McNeil. Joining me, as always, is the wonderful Twilight Guardian, though
Hello.
she's currently out and about. She'll be back in her usual quality mic setup in just a bit. She's actually getting her dinner right now. So for now, it's thankfully I start out reading typically, so we don't have to worry too much about that. She'll be back in her regular sound pretty soon. But yeah, today we are continuing Lily Orchard's magnum opus, which I don't think it actually is her magnum opus, but I'm going to call it that because it's funny, and she is a funny person, which is a rewrite of the Star Wars sequel trilogy, starring her own original character. In the last one, what the fuck happened in the last one? Does anyone actually remember?
It was a
You got me, man.
Well, wait.
I
Okay,
actually
first
forgot.
off, her OC just bitch smacked Kylo again with her bare hands.
Huh?
Right,
Oh.
right. That
She
happened.
did. She did. Yeah.
That's right. She
Yeah,
sent
get the
him
shit.
running away with his tail between his legs when they had
Yeah.
a fucking Star Destroyer that could probably just destroy her ship in seconds.
Yes.
I'm about to say, now they wouldn't do that. They sent the protagonist on that ship, and then suddenly they couldn't do anything. They realized, oh shit, we have no power here.
Right. And now, to be fair,
Yeah, yeah.
it has been 2 weeks because last week I was going to do Bad Fan Fiction Night, and then we had a 13-hour power outage. So,
I can't remember what's the OC's name again?
Aliana.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hurricane.
okay, yeah. Aliana heard you were talking shit about her and cut your power lines.
I was going to say Lily heard I was talking shit and cut my power lines.
Okay, okay, fine. Lily manifested
Well,
Aliana
to be
into
fair, Lily is
cut
in the
power lines.
walls.
What were you
What?
saying, Jake? What were you saying, Kaiser?
I think Kaiser died for a second.
Dang, people are just dying left and right.
These things happen. People die all the time.
When is Kaiser not dying, to be fair?
I was going to say, for a robot, he
no,
is by
no,
far
Lily
the most
heard
glitchy
me.
person
I
here.
was about to say she's in the walls.
She's in the goddamn walls!
Whoa!
Dude, she showed up in your fucking Discord connection.
Exactly, bro.
She was trying to stop it from
To be
warning
fair,
us.
she is a
She
Sith
almost
lord.
got us.
Yeah, she only sighed us. She almost sighed us.
But yeah, there was also actually a kind of nice scene between Finn and Han, a surprisingly decent scene there. So
I'm like, damn, what's this doing here?
hey, Lily, it's kind of strange. You actually wrote kind of a guy friendship type deal way better than you've written your lesbian protagonists.
So true.
I wonder if there's a
Maybe
reason
she's-
for that.
Maybe she's just cursed to
Oh
never
my
write
God.
Yuri. Well, at least good anyway.
Oh, please. She wouldn't know good Yuri if it... I don't know if it told her the moon was
I mean,
pretty
so
tonight.
far the most like likable character has been Han. Like,
Yeah, because
she-
Khan's called
I
out.
don't know if that
Khan
was an
has
act-
called out everyone's bullshit. That's why.
On. What's Khan doing?
yeah,
Well,
like,
Han has like a incredibly immaculate gaydar.
And Khan has tried to kill everyone, which is also an improvement.
Yeah, you try to blow up the Enterprise.
Yeah. Anyway, let us get into this. This is chapter 6. I want to say it is. It might be chapter 7. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's 6.
What's it called?
Her apprentice will be mine.
Yeah, it's 6.
Sorry, I have to do this in Kylo voice. Her apprentice
of course.
will be
Oh wait,
mine.
we can't see that. We can't see that. Are you still gonna
yes,
stream
I
it?
am not
Does it hurt?
streaming. I will. Does it hurt?
He's not even showing us the scripture that we're the holy scriptures. For shame.
The sacred text.
No.
The sacred Jedi texts.
Sacred text.
Wait, is this what Luke burned in the tree?
Oh, read them have
Oh, dude.
it hit.
That would
Oh,
be a
that
twist.
makes so much sense.
burned the sacred text.
This is the
Have
truth.
you?
That's
The
what
Jedi
Yoda,
don't want
dude.
you to
Yoda was
know.
trying to save us.
Luke
man.
read this, and that's why he gave up on the Jedi Order.
I can believe it.
This is
I
Yoda.
can totally believe it.
Is the best.
Why the fuck the
Disney
Jedi would
is
put
the
Lily's text
Yoda.
in there in the first place?
Yoda
is
has an
beyond me.
oddly
Nah.
specific
Buddha.
reference. What is
It's
that?
the
reference?
Guardians of the Wills.
Anyway,
Heck?
let's get right into this chapter. Rey was astounded as Aliana pulled the ship down towards Maz's castle. Takodana was such a bright, green, vibrant world, the likes of which she had never seen in her life. All she'd known was the harsh, barren landscape of Jakku. To see this planet teeming with life, so colorful and beautiful, felt like waking up for the first time. You all right? Aliana asked, glancing at her. You look like you're spacing out. Rey was snapped out of her stupor and turned to look sheepishly at Aliana. Sorry,
That's
it's
space.
just... I never knew there was this much green in the entire galaxy, she said, an air of whimsy in her voice. Aliana felt a fond smile spread on her face. Every day it became clearer that what she had been taking for granted in her life of travels compared to the life of a maroon scavenger. If you think this is a lot of green, maybe we should take a trip over to Kashyyyk. Because I don't know any other planets in this setting other than the ones that were in mainline content.
Well, of course.
Which
Nah, man.
says
If
a
you want
lot.
to,
Okay.
nah, man. If you want to see a lot of green, you should see my paychecks.
Hey.
Sky Slasher?
Let's go.
There's someone who's like giving some
Bars.
noise. I think
Sky
it's you, Sky
Slasher.
Slasher. Sky Slasher?
Sky Slash,
Sky
your
Thank you.
go to push to talk.
My bad. I was eating something.
Alrighty. Are the forests there? The whole planet is covered in thick forest, the way Jakku is covered in sand. You'll get sick of the forest really quickly, Aliana explained as she gingerly brought the fury down in a
The
clearing.
fury?
I mean, to be fair, it does have a giant dick drawn on it. So.
Yes. Over.
forgetting
Come
about
on.
Space dick, sir, please.
Aliana explained as she gingerly brought the fury down in a clearing a kilometer away from the castle. Rey's eyes nearly bugged out of her skull at the thought of a forest that large and that thick.
Don't
I feel
do
like
it.
There's some innuendo.
Do it.
There's some innuendo here, all right?
I'm not saying
Putting that
Do
out-
it.
I'm not saying
Do it.
As soon as you finish the sentence, I knew you were going to comment on it.
I'm done. I'm fucking done. Bro. I
We
hate
gotta
it
include
here.
this baddie and talk about the upcoming movie. I know nothing about the upcoming movie other than like the villain is some weird All Might dude, and that's about it.
Wait, an All Might dude.
It's
yeah,
like
the
a
new
false All Might
Hiraka.
or something. That's
Yeah,
about it.
Hiraka did.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And also, I don't mention the films at all in my script. So like that, I don't have.
I'm
any
just
reason
trying to
to.
distract you as much as possible.
Oh, thank you. All right, that's wonderful.
Ease us
I'll
from
talk
the
about
pain.
Madame Dominatrix later. All right.
Sweet.
Where was I? Rey's eyes nearly bugged out of her skull at the thought of a forest that large and that thick. Aliana couldn't help but be taken with how adorable the sight was. I'd be more than happy to take you out to explore these forests if you'd like. Right now, after we deal with the map, of course.
dear.
Like, Ray, you gotta just, she's inviting you to explore some forests, man. You gotta just take it. Well, no, I want you the opposite. I want you the furthest away from Aliana. This is actually stranger danger. Blow your rape whistle.
Yeah, exactly. Just run.
I need a timer for every single time Celtic turns something into an innuendo joke. God damn.
Okay, but did I really need to work that hard?
No, you didn't.
Yes,
but-
you do.
Not really.
You didn't.
No.
But
That
you
was a
could work
layup.
harder, and it could be better.
Correct.
Look, to work hard would imply...
You have to remember your audience and your partner like it when you work harder, Celtic. Come on.
Electric
Yeah, but to
Angel,
work harder would
thanks
imply a difficult job.
Thanks for bringing me into
Like-
Lily's world of deep, dark depression and child abuse. It's like, oh,
Okay.
I meant to bring
Different
you into her
subject,
terrible
different
writing,
subject.
but I guess that works too. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not
We were here
responsible,
to-
though.
We were here to laugh, not give scarring.
Okay, to be fair, there is a little bit of
This is
scarring. There's
bad.
a little bit of
Okay.
scarring. That's fine.
We're only here to be scarred.
True. Okay,
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's Lily Orchard. I think we're all going to be scarred by the end of this.
Ray shook her head slightly, as if to rid herself of the wonderful thoughts, and put a look of look of refreshment. What the fucking hell? Derailed myself there. Ray shook her head slightly, as if to rid herself of the wonderful thoughts, and put on a look of professionalism. Jesus Christ, Raymond, pronounce it correctly. Yes, of course. After you, Miss Medico, she said with a smirk teasing at the end of her lips. Aliana smiled and led Ray down the ramp and out onto the planet's surface. If the forests were amazing from above, being at their edge with the river in front of her was practically overwhelming. The sound of the river flowing over the rocks, the rich smell of the pine trees, it all hit Ray at full force, and she was at risk of falling into her knees and crying. It was all so new and intense that she could have sworn it was giving her a headache. She took a deep breath, the air feeling so crisp and clean that she could have sworn she would start coughing out years of Jakku dust. Okay, it'd be hilarious though, as someone who has absolutely no experience with any of this shit, she just becomes more and more unnerved by how everything sounds and feels. And it's like, okay, no, take me back to the sand. Oh God, take me away. Oh God.
That would be a cool twist.
Like,
I once knew a guy from Arizona who came down to where I live. There's a lot of forest around me, and when I first showed him like the park near me, he nearly shit himself. So yeah, I can.
Please tell me
I
you
can,
brought
I
clean
can understand
pants.
it. I can understand the feeling she's having. So yeah, I've seen
Of
it.
having bad pants?
No. Well, I think everybody's been there before.
No, just
Aliana
freaking
kept-
out when you're in a different biome.
Aliana kept her eyes on Ray as they descended down the ramp. Seeing how Ray reacted to the feeling of stepping on a completely different planet was just as captivating as the planet itself. Seeing Ray be so happy caused a warm feeling to flourish in Aliana's chest. She loved seeing her this happy. Part of her wanted to keep making Ray this happy and keep talking to her, taking her to other
Fear.
worlds. A pang of disappointment shot through her at the thought. As much as she wanted it, Aliana knew that Ray staying with her was highly unlikely, especially whenever she found the truth. Found out the truth. Can you stop reiterating how much you love looking at Ray being in awe of things? It's getting repetitive. This is probably the 5th chapter you've done it, and we've only been through 6. So
Yes, we get it. Daisy Ridley is pretty. Calm down.
yes, we get it. Daisy Ridley can't literally close her lower lip.
I think in Kristen Stewart, but I don't think in Kristen Stewart.
No. Kristen Stewart perpetually looks bored. Ray why am I suddenly blanking on her name?
Daisy Ridley.
Daisy Ridley constantly looks perplexed, I guess.
No, Kristen Stewart also couldn't close her mouth whenever she did Twilight.
Well, yeah, no, but I'm distinguishing
Yeah.
the two hers was bored, where Ridley's was much more oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's why I'm just drawing that fine sliver of a line. User 225, Lily writes like she's scared of going outside.
Well,
Maybe.
What a sentence, by the way.
if you're referring to her video scripts, that would be accurate.
I was gonna say I meant if she walks outside, the police might get her. Anyway, it was common belief that the Sith did not make good company. It's probably because they are emotional and absolutely willing to do violence as a first solution.
And sociopathic.
Yeah, let's
Mostly
talk about the two
sociopathic.
major Sith that have been ruling the Empire for the last 20 years. What did Darth Vader do in his first scene? Oh yeah, chokeslam a motherfucker.
Oh yeah, no. One of his first
They
actions
really
being
like
a
going
Sith
for the
was to
choke.
murder children. Yeah, I wonder why they don't have a
Yeah.
good reputation.
Yeah,
Sorry,
he also
really?
blew up a planet. In his introduction, he blew up a fucking planet.
Should take a deep
Oh
breath.
yeah, that did happen, didn't it?
Technically, that was good, dude.
Technically, that
Ray
was
was just in a
Tarkin
new biome.
in his
But-
fucking carpet slippers.
Look, we can stand here pointing all
Yeah, that was
day
Tarkin.
at who did what, but at the end of the day, it doesn't change the fact that Aliana is going to seemingly ignore all of the terrible things that the Sith
Yeah.
did.
No, let's not talk about
Yeah.
who killed who.
Well,
Anyway.
that's because from her point of view, the Jedi are evil.
Her smile fell.
Yeah,
and she was
exactly.
quiet.
Right,
Her
because the
smile
people that
fell,
enforce
and she
peace-
was quiet as they walked to the castle. Only the crunch of her boots against the gravel and Ray's occasional happy sounds disturbing the sound of the leaves and the birds. Oh, oh, ooh! What is that sound? What is
Please.
happy sounds?
Yeah, what the
Describe.
fuck?
I don't want to know what happy sounds are.
As they got
I've never
closer to
felt
the castle,
happiness, so
the
I don't
front
know.
gate opened and two familiar faces came out to meet them. Took you long enough, Han nodded. We've been here for 4 hours waiting for you. We got intercepted, Aliana said, only half paying attention. Okay, wait. Han took a direct route. You guys stopped at a rebel base, which, by the way, would have completely bypassed this entire quest. But you stopped at a rebel base, dropped off Poe, got intercepted, and it's only been 4 hours of difference. What?
Ain't no motherfucking way. And you got into an attack that must have at least lasted a good bit.
Well,
Like, although
listen.
then again, hold on a second.
you guys ever
She did beat Kylo in like 3 paragraphs, so never mind.
you guys ever get into a good spot in the highway? You get a good road going. You just like cut off like a bunch of traffic.
She's just that motorcyclist in LA that happened today. You guys all saw that? Anyone else see it
Yeah.
on the news? That was wild.
Oh, what happened?
It's a long story, but basically there was a motorcyclist that just for no reason that anyone can discern just started driving super erratically, but like more so they just started breaking all the laws of the road. It was really weird.
Listen, when Freebird comes on in the radio, man.
I mean, I
like-
guess that's fair. That's fair. I think the police will let him get off if that's the case.
Your Honor, my client was listening to Freebird.
Your Honor,
Case closed.
I'm sorry to inform you that we had a back-to-back case of Freebird, Kickstart My Heart, and Let Me Hear You Scream at this, all in quick succession. My client had no way to resist the urge and just like,
Of course.
immediately.
Don't forget
Not guilty.
Panama.
Your Honor, my client had to lock in.
Don't forget Panama.
Oh, don't. Let's not start on that.
Anyway,
By
by what? Finn asked. A first order dreadnought, she clarified. Han's brow lifted high. And you two got
I
away?
delayed him?
Not bad. Well, Ali did most of the work, Ray said modestly. Psh, far from it, Aliana said with an easy smile. I certainly couldn't have gotten that engine back online like you did. Ray felt a flush of pink spread on her cheeks. Well, I mean, Aliana's face perked up when she remembered what Kylo Ren had said on the Fury. Oh, right. The First Order isn't tailing the Falcon right now. Kylo Ren thinks I was using this ship as a red herring. It's still on their radar, but they're not interested in that. Well, thanks for being the bait then, Han said with a smirk. Come on, Maz is inside. Han and Finn turned to walk back into the large castle. Aliana and Ray followed after them. Ray's eyes never stayed in one place for very long. The path to the castle's entrance was adorned with as many flags as different kinds of species she currently saw. What exactly is this place again, Ali? Ray asked. Safe haven for criminals, Aliana answered, placing a shoulder Placing a shoulder as an air of uncertainty fell over Ray. Here,
What?
Here, have a shoulder.
What?
Did
They
she just,
might
like-
offer you a shoulder in this trying time.
Is this
Is she
a goddamn?
dislocated?
No, it's a goddamn Lego piece. Just boop,
Yeah.
here.
Man, when do we get to the point
The mis-
part where it's revealed that Aliana
Oh
is
my
using
God.
the Force to influence Ray's feelings? Oh wait, we're not going to because it doesn't exist.
User 225, Aliana, what a name. It's literally that episode of The Office where Michael Scott wrote a story with self-insert character named with a self-character insert named Michael Scarn. Look, we've
He's
all
not
been
wrong.
there. Look, the
Oh my
important
God.
part is that was Michael's first first real dive into fan fiction. Here, this is clearly very much not her first dive into fan fiction, and thus it's way more embarrassing for Lily, is what I'm getting at.
Indeed.
Where was I? Don't worry, no one will bother us here. Criminals behave themselves when they're congregated with each other. It's why hut space can be a safe place to hide. Said absolutely no fucking person.
Bro,
Citation, please.
Absolutely not. That is
No,
that is the
not how
biggest
that
piece
works.
of cap I remember.
Bruh.
Citation,
Nate
please.
Nate
Uh,
will remind
you
you
ever
what
been to
she thinks
prison?
about Magneto and
There's
like,
literally
anyone
a
that's
scene in A New Hope. Like,
I'm sorry, what does she think about Magneto exactly?
we
Twilight
don't
has
have
a
enough
whole
time.
video on it.
You
Go
know what,
watch it
this-
over on her channel.
Yeah, you can watch that.
Yeah,
Go watch
You know what,
Twilight's video.
You know what? I'll just ask after stream.
Yeah.
Please do.
So no wonder she imagines, oh yeah, because criminals have no reason to fuck each other over whatsoever because they're the civilized people in society. That's how safe havens
Online
work.
thieves.
And it's
Yes.
like, motherfucker,
Someone
no.
clearly has never seen Black Lagoon. But then again, Lily never watches good anime, so that's how it works.
Mhm.
Someone
Yeah.
has never clearly seen a
also,
fucking
he
mafia
hasn't
movie.
seen A New Hope, apparently.
Wait. Oh, and she's also clearly never seen Star Wars. My brother in Christ. Did we forget the scene where Han shoots first?
Yeah, but Han's a protagonist.
Well,
he's
yes.
not a criminal.
A lot of
Oh.
people have.
That's how that works.
Okay. Did we forget Lando Calrissian then? The entirety of
Okay,
Empire
but
Strikes
he's a
Back.
protagonist and not a criminal. You see, that's how that works. Anyway,
And has
Yeah.
the N-word pass.
Moving on.
Also, he was our
Kai, that's unrelated to the situation at hand.
I'm Lily's mine, and you know it.
All right. Anyway, wait, does Aliana have the N-word passed if she's written by a white chick?
Wait, what?
Anyway,
I think it has the flanker.
so good. I hope not.
as I stepped inside the large cantina, Ray was overtaken by the noise of everyone going about their own business. People talking, shouting, yelling for drinks, chanting in languages she couldn't even recognize. Stay focused, Aliana said, laying a hand on her shoulder. It's safe, but people don't like to be stared at. Oh no, it's that one episode from fucking Smiling Friends. Do not look anyone in the eye. Ray looked at Aliana.
Oh, no.
The sight of her crimson eyes and feeling of her hands on her shoulder was surprisingly soothing. Dude, you've looked someone in the eye, you fool! No! It's illegal! They took a deep breath and
fool.
nodded.
You
All right, she
Aliana,
said.
please get your hand off me.
It's like, you're gonna move your hand.
You had one
No.
job, Ray. You had one job.
That would be a great moment. It's like, are you gonna take your hand off my shoulder? No. And they just keep on going.
just keep walking. They just keep walking.
User 225. Lily hates Raylo like she isn't female Kylo. Kylo, not Cairo. Let me say. Female Kylo.
Well,
No, she isn't. Because Kylo, look, Kylo is played by Adam Driver, who actually gives him like a life and energy, even if he's terribly written across the entire trilogy. Adam Driver saves that character so fucking hard. Aliana doesn't get
does.
that benefit.
correct.
Yeah.
We love Adam Driver.
Yeah, surprisingly, out of all like the criticism
Really?
I've heard of people, Adam Driver,
We stand Adam
Yeah, like-
Driver in this house. Anyway,
yes.
Remember, Lily Orchard once described Adam Driver as, quote, a shitpost with feet.
Bruh.
noted.
Not the character, the actor.
She couldn't help but
dare
notice
she?
that
Yeah, she did
Aliana
do
seems
that.
to have less energy than before. Her smile was strained, and she seemed to be looking past Ray rather than directly at her. Feeling concerned, she asked, "You all right? You seem down." Yeah, maybe." Aliana shrugged. "I've kind of got something on my mind. I've I kind of got my mind on something. And that thing is George Lucas approaching, saying the Skywalkers send their
The icing on the cake of this is the blur effect.
It is
Mhm.
100%
Yeah.
the blur effect.
God, I love meme culture, man. It's just so
It's so
beautiful.
great.
It is.
Do you need to talk about it? Ray offered. Aliana's smile became gentler, her eyes slightly less troubled. We can worry about it after we sell our business here. Perhaps that walk I suggested will help clear my head. User 225, Adam Driver is skilled and good looking. Lily ain't. Agreed.
Well,
Well, all right. So long as you're sure. She does this thing. I don't know if this is actually technically grammatically correct, but she does this thing where like she spaces the ellipses before, like she puts a space between the ellipses and the words.
It's,
Let me see.
It's stylistically
supposed to
consistent,
suggest
so I'm not as
modification.
irritated by it. But it's like the thing that I personally don't do. So
Right.
It's all right.
Yeah, I don't think
I'm
that's
squinting at it though.
Anyway.
grammar. Yeah.
Ray said, not entirely satisfied with the answer, but not wanting to press it. Thanks. Aliana nodded as she led Ray to sit down with Han and Finn alongside a very small alien woman whom Ray inferred to be Maz.
Huh.
Well, that's
Huh.
presumptive.
Racist.
You could have literally had anyone else in that bar be Maz, and it's just it is another friend. I mean, anyway. Han Solo and Alina Benico, Maz said, looking surprised. An odd combination, to say the least. What brings you to my corner of space? Did you find my irises? That's a deep tundra cut for all of you guys out there. These two, Han said, pointing to Ray and Finn, and then the BB-8, along with the droid. They need to get on a transport to the Resistance, and I need to get out of here with my ship. What about you? Maz asked, looking at Aliana. I'm the one that found them and the Falcon, Aliana said, looking down at the table. Maz sat back in her seat, an intrigued look on her aged face. And you chose to get involved. Rather curious behavior for one such as... they have information that could be crucial for bringing down the First Order, Aliana interrupted. That's something we all want, regardless of background. Maz was silent for a moment before nodding. Yes, the map. Han has showed me. This is information that we cannot risk letting fall into their hands. What we need is a clean ship to send off to Dakar, Aliana explained. I take them in the Fury, but it and the Falcon are being watched. If we lead the First Order to the Resistance, we may as well just stab ourselves in the back. She set Kylo Ren's lightsaber on the table as if to finalize how stupid such a mistake would be. I'm sorry. No, you can't say that. It's like, oh, it would be a mistake.
Excuse
By
you?
the way, I disarmed their leader.
Yeah, their leader and their main attack force.
That doesn't. Yeah. It doesn't make sense.
Punk ass bitch.
God,
Like, what the hell?
what is this?
Ugh.
I kind of wonder if the reason why she hates Kylo Ren so much is because she sees a lot of herself in him.
Hey, yo.
I mean,
No, I don't think she has that level of self-awareness.
You know what?
I
No,
have
it
to
actually
work
would make a
with-
lot of sense if Lily was as poorly written as Kylo Ren.
Hey.
D
Oh.
tier character writing.
That's
Real.
horrible.
Wait, what have
I
you
love
written?
God really
we-
dropped the ball on her.
Are we fictional?
No, but sometimes I wonder if Lily is. Sometimes I wish
Nope.
that Lily was, if
Just
only
Lily.
for her sister's sake.
Mm,
He has a sister. Oh,
I don't think I am.
You,
okay, let's
you
not
don't
pull
want to
the pin
dig
on
into
that
that.
grenade
That
right
is
now.
a
We
bad
don't wanna
route for
know.
mental health.
We don't wanna know.
Alright,
You don't
I'll
want to
take your
know.
word- I'll take your word on
Off
it.
stream, let's go.
I'm kind of afraid to look into that.
Han eyed the hilt on the
Just
table.
don't look into anything for Lily.
Han
Trust me,
eyed,
just don't.
Han eyed the hilt on the table. Is that Kylo Ren's lightsaber? Aliana confirmed. I took it from his person. The man was
Wait, what?
pathetic. Like, my God, whoever produced his genes must be just such an absolute waste of space. I mean, absolutely the worst kind of man on the planet.
Is
The
this his
Kylo
actual?
Ren is a bitch ass motherfucker. He
The
pissed
kind
so
of
much-
man that would just ruin a job and just, you know what, piss off the Hutts. He's that kind of guy. He'd be that kind of guy.
Juan
Nice.
proceeds to one tap Aliana straight in her dumbass face.
Oh, if only.
Please.
Also, guys, remember the
know what
rules.
the
Guys,
joke is.
guys, remember the rules, please.
Which, to be fair, you didn't reiterate this time.
Yeah, I completely forgot that, but I was dealing with scuff. So, you know,
You guys have been in here enough to know the rules, though.
yes.
True.
At some point, there will be stabbing.
Huh?
And not the fun kind. Anyway.
I would like to limit the number of holes in my body, please.
That is not
What
a
kind of
choice you get to
stabbing can
make.
be called?
You ever heard of Captain Stabbing?
Oh, anyway.
Let's just go back to reading.
Finn's
Please.
eyes widened in surprise at the dismissive tone she had. Despite already knowing Aliana was a Sith. But the idea that she took down Kylo Ren with ease caused a sliver of fear to shoot through him. That's... Why do you have two
That's-
butts in that sentence? Like, despite and but are basically the same word. So, anyway.
Grammar.
Fight, but
A clean ship will be easy
Can I
to
say something real
provide,
fast?
Maz replied.
No.
Just not right away. What does that mean? Aliana asked, her tone less than... It means it won't be... You have to wait. That's all that means, Aliana. People have fucking schedules.
yeah.
Seriously.
It's not all about you, Aliana. Jeez.
What do you mean?
not?
Of course it is. She's the
damn.
protagonist.
Also, you gotta love how, like, Aliana is the only one doing the talking in these scenes. Like, everyone else is making
100%.
commentary
Yes.
on what's being discussed, but Ray is the only... So Aliana is the only one actually, like, negotiating. So...
Yeah,
Yeah.
Ray's just in there eating the bar food.
Yep. I mean, to be fair, their calamari is just, mwah, it's fucking excellent. That's because they, typically speaking, some of their patrons come in that are like squids, and they just they don't make it out. Anyway, well,
Seriously.
you gotta keep a fresh supply for that delicious calamari. Anyway,
God damn it.
you need a clean ship, but you also need a pilot who's willing to risk crossing the First Order. Max explained. Okay.
What?
New character, I guess.
Wait, Max Goof? Max
Sure.
Goof from the Goof
Who?
Troop?
Grandpa Max, what are you doing here?
Oh god, if only I remembered the beat to the song from a Goofy movie, I would sing this next part and it's like its melody. Anyway,
Oh, which
and a-
one?
the first Goofy movie.
No, I
No,
meant
which song? There's two of them.
Oh right, sorry, no, the pop one.
That doesn't narrow it down.
There's two of those.
No,
They were sung by the same guy.
We're going on such.
oh, I didn't realize
Are you
he sung two
talking
different
about-
songs. I thought it was only one song that they.
Are you
No,
talking about
no,
Eye to Eye?
No, there's two of them.
Oh,
Or
my
Stand
bad,
Out.
my bad. All right, well,
Okay, I'm
This was
putting
about-
the Goofy movie on the list then.
it's been a while. Hey, it's. I've seen it. I've actually seen it a couple of times. It's just been a while since I've seen it most recently.
I'm really surrounded by
For shame.
autistic people here.
Yes.
Thank you.
My
I mean-
God.
All
Okay.
the tangents we go on, man.
Maybe when Celtic doesn't get a
have ADHD,
song.
but okay.
Why do you think we have that rule before every fan fiction?
Anyway.
Yeah, but we never teach to it.
And a pilot who can be trusted with the location of the Resistance base. That's a lot of variables to consider, especially given that for the right price, you can convince a man to sell out his best friend. Chewie let out a throaty huff in agreement. Oh my god, I forgot you were here, Chewie.
Yeah, Jesus
Don't worry.
I-
So did everyone else.
I was gonna say, so did JJ.
So did Lily.
Yep.
You'll all be more than welcome to stay here in the interim, Maz said. Ray's mouth turned into a thin line. Will I be able to shuttle back home sooner? That's two clean ships you're asking me for, which only complicates things, Maz said apologetically. Ray's expression was unreadable for a second before she nodded. I figured No worries. We'll be here. We'll be fine here," she said, smiling at Aliana. By the way, do you manage marriage ceremonies at all? Do you host weddings? I'm just like, I imagine she just wants to get ahead of the curve of where the story is going. Anyway, Aliana smiled back, and there was a sound of throat clearing as they both turned their attention to Finn. "We can't stay here," Finn said, looking worried. "We need to get away from the First Order. If we stay in one place too long, they will find us and they will kill us." "Finn, we've already had an encounter with the First Order on Jakku, and it ended disastrously for them." Aliana rolled her eyes. "I've had 2 encounters with Kylo Ren already, and he's fled like a wounded Koth hound both times." This is where like Han turns and just be like, "So, why are we afraid of them?"
Yeah.
Just stares her down.
Better question is, why did you kill him?
I'm sorry.
I will aid you, Han.
Are we just gonna skip over? You obliterated like a freaking platoon worth of soldiers. Like, come on.
I mean, those are stormtroopers. They get obliterated by everybody.
Yeah,
He's right.
It's not really.
Well, that's also a problem by the film standards.
Yeah. Also, Maz will help them, but they must bring her Yoda's lost ketamine stash.
Wait until we find out the New Republic deemed the gay marriage as illegal.
Find my stash. You never will.
Watch that. That would be like the most hilarious twist in the world. Is the evil?
I need the
police.
police will not.
It's not even like it's not even incredibly progressive. It's like just moderately progressive by today's standards. Like, or I guess standard by today's standards. Not even progressive.
Yeah.
Who made that Yoda impression?
Yeah, it was so good. What?
Geo did.
Yeah, it was so good. It sounded like Louis Armstrong. Like, "I see skies of blue."
Making impressions?
Yeah.
Good I am.
Oh my god, you
Okay.
really are that good. Anyway, when Yoda shows up in the middle of the
Last Jedi.
Last Jedi, you're up to bat. Just let you know that.
Holy shit, for real?
If you're still here, yeah.
Oh,
You were
I'm
born
probably
for
still
this,
gonna be
buddy.
here. Yeah.
You're still
Yeah. Yeah, hit me up.
All right. When did you fight him the first time? Han asked. Jakku, Aliana replied with a smirk. He was equally unimpressive both times. Han's just
I'm
so
sure
like,
he was,
so
Ray.
just to be clear,
still
there's a
the
euphemism
main
for you
villain in
sleeping
this.
with him, right? And it's like, no, ew. Okay, he's a pretty good fighter. She took him down barehanded on the ship, Ray remarked. It was outstanding. Oh, stop, Aliana said, smiling a little.
Yeah.
No way, go
please
on.
Stop. You're annihilating the freaking stakes of this fucking story.
Dude, if they existed at all, they don't anymore. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
We don't need weight.
This is a vegan story. Thank you very much.
I had that
Free story.
I contest that because even kale has nutrients.
Damn.
Wars.
Not really,
It's
Ray insisted.
impossible.
My jaw was on the floor seeing how effortlessly you took care of him. No,
Okay.
I will resist. I will resist.
Don't. I
mean
know what you're gonna
before
say.
You mean before he sent you into the wall? Aliana teased.
Oh dear.
Motherfucker! Why are you joking about her getting flung across a wound and almost fucking brained? Like, come on!
Aliana and fighting Kylo Ren.
I was like, yeah, hey, remember that time you almost drowned? Oh, that was hilarious. I love reminding my sister of the time she almost fell off a fucking cliff.
I mean,
Royal Guard.
Okay, actually,
I'm
no,
not
I
saying
kind of do.
anything.
We actually do laugh about it now, but at the same time, like that, we didn't laugh about it for like a solid 3 days minimum. Like,
Well,
gives them
it's one
time
of
to
the-
breathe.
It's one of those things of like, congrats for your head trauma.
Just remember,
mean-
Aliana, you will never be able to shake the niggling doubt in the back of your mind that head trauma is the only reason Ray is attracted to you.
Holy shit.
Oh my
Real.
Oh.
I could
Oh.
piece her back together.
Anyway, Ray winced, remembering how much pain she had been in when Ren had thrown her with the Force. Yeah, Aliana, what the fuck? Anyway, I'd have strangled that rat to death if it weren't for that. Aliana shook her head. Next time, he's a dead man. Why didn't you just strangle him then? Like,
yeah, why didn't you use the Force, you bitch?
It wasn't like he was holding her the entire time. He threw her. The act had already been completed. You had plenty of room to kill him.
She was not feeling it.
Han glanced at Aliana, frowning. How did you do that? Finn asked, tilting his head. He knew the answer, but the fact that she took him down without a lightsaber was a detail that gave him pause. How did he disarm and almost kill him without a weapon? My mother taught me all kinds of ways to fight. Blasters, I almost read that one wrong, vibroblades, and a little Akani training. Aliana shrugged. Doesn't help that Ren has such a sloppy form and is obsessed with power swings, which is just ridiculous. A lightsaber has no weight to it, and you just need to touch something to cut it. But he swings it, that thing like it's made out of Duracrete.
I just absolutely love how this tense scene with the characters, trying to talk about what they're supposed to do at this point in the film, which this coincides with, just turns to just jerking off Aliana, like just beating that shit. Dude.
Yeah.
Just shitting on
ridiculous.
No, it's actually like kind of like fits her character by like
getting that hawk tour.
just being like extremely overconfident intentionally. Like it's like, oh, how did you beat him without a light or without a weapon? It's like, yeah, she would think it was. She would act like it was like completely nothing.
I agree, Fat Man. The problem is that it's going on for too fucking long.
Oh, Teddy Bear Paladin.
I hate that this is a consistent part of her character.
Oh, Teddy Bear Paladin was
Yeah,
not
I
a
hope you got
story.
the shit rock.
Guys, hey Finn, mind if we slaughter your old comrades? I have no attachments and thus offer no new perspectives to the story. Thanks, sociopath. Exactly.
Yeah.
Legit. Yeah.
Han silently grumbled to himself, but said nothing. Such is the nature of the First Order, Ma said casually, desperately clinging to the coattails of the Empire's glory days. Reckless and ignorant, but no less dangerous. Aliana picked up Kylo Ren's lightsaber and examined it. I gotta strip this thing down. If its crystal is any good, it'll be worth a lot. Probably not, though. The blade was crackling when he was using it, and that's usually the sign of a crack.
Interesting detail.
I'm sure there's some upstanding individuals here who would be happy to give you a price, Ma said with a playful smile. In the meantime, you make yourselves at home. Takodana is as safe as any place in the galaxy. Give it to Rey. Give Rey the fucking lightsaber. Like just
give it to her.
Get her
It can be
lightsaber
her
anyway,
lightsaber.
Despite her words,
First, give it to Rey and have her stick it on a pole because Rey is more experienced with a pole arm than saber.
Yeah, okay, but I need to point out that a bow staff is a lot different than like a bladed polearm. Radically different skill sets.
Blunt versus bladed is a
you have to
massive difference.
understand, it's a sword-like weapon.
Shut the fuck
You gotta
up.
choke. You with hammer.
I mean,
if you can swing a baseball bat, you can swing a sword.
As someone who does
dodged ball.
as someone who has done historical combat with bow staffs and actual pole arms, there's a couple things you just don't do, but it's pretty interchangeable, really.
Okay.
Just
Well,
throwing that out there.
I will elect to ignore you. Okay, moving on.
Fine, fine.
It's a joke, Dreadnought. It's a joke. Yeah, everyone give Dreadnought a head pat. He's a good little history boy.
I'll give him a fist pump.
Thank you. I appreciate
No, only
that.
head pats.
God damn it.
No,
Well,
I'm kidding.
He twisted my arm.
Despite her words, Finn still looked restless. Oh wait, sorry, did I skip over? Sure.
Yeah.
Anytime. Despite her words, Finn still looked restless. The look on his face made it as though he was going to bolt straight for the nearest ship. Aliana set the lightsaber down and looked at him. She already knew he was a stormtrooper. The guilt and panic rolling off him was almost identical to every stormtrooper she'd met just before she'd kill them. Oh! That's not typically how... Yeah, that's not how I've ever portrayed the stormtroopers when they die, so... She laid a hand on his shoulder and motioned for him to follow her. Come on, I want to talk to you. Oh, is this...
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Well, I think that was Aliana.
Yeah, come on, I want to talk with you. Finn all but flinched when he saw Aliana's gaze on him, and concern flooded his system when she ushered him to follow her. On some level, he knew he couldn't trust her, but the knowledge of her capabilities did put him on edge a little bit. After a moment's hesitation, he got up to follow her. She led him outside into the courtyard and around a secluded corner away from everyone who might wander by or overhear them. Finn, are you okay? She asked, her hand on his arm. You seem frightened and distracted. Look, you don't know the First Order like I do, all right? Finn huffed, glancing around. I get that you can take out Kylo Ren, but that isn't going to help you when there's a swarm of blaster fire bearing down on you or turbo blasters. They have more than just a dark Jedi. They have a lot more firepower than that. When you see the First Order, the safest thing to do is run as far as you can. Aliana looked at him with even more concern than before. It was clear that Finn was terrified of being hunted down for treason. Anyone who just deserted... Yes, that's typically the major fear of someone who just committed treason. Typically.
Yeah, that usually is how that goes.
Treason always comes with a very high punishment, so yeah, it's reasonable.
Not everyone has superpowers, so he's not prepared to take on like an entire army.
Anyone
I mean,
who just
technically he
deserted
does have
probably wouldn't-
superpowers, he just hasn't unlocked them yet.
Anyone who just deserted probably wouldn't feel all that happy about joining up in war against people they just tried to get away from. Worse even, she knew exactly how the First Order got its recruits, which meant Finn was taken as a baby and conditioned his entire life to serve, because Aliana just fucking knows everything. No childhood, no chance to forge his own identity. He was effectively a slave to a cause he never asked for, and we chose that language specifically because it was John Boyega. There was no doubt that he was dealing with an intense amount of trauma that she knew all too well.
So what's the point of this conversation?
Also, what? She was never a slave. The fuck? At least as far as we know.
Oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
What the First Order did to Finn was appalling and sick. What made it worse was that it reminded Aliana far too much of the Jedi. Finn, I promise you that the First Order won't be able to lay a blaster bolt on you as long as I'm around, she said, squeezing his arm. I do love how I can absolutely ruin the intention of the scene by just giving her sort of a faux Valley Girl accent. It's great.
Thank you.
She sounds
if
so
you want to
disingenuous.
stick around till after the stream, I'll give you a worse Valley Girl accent.
No,
I want to say something real fast about that whole no worse than the Jedi, because being a Jedi youngling actually doesn't seem to be all that bad compared to what these was actually
We're
meant to
going to
invoke.
be here for
Clone
hours
troopers.
discussing.
We're not going to go into that.
We'll talk about this.
I'm not trying to. I'm just saying that maybe clone troopers
don't need
would have
to
been
say
more.
it. No, you need to move on.
Don't bring it up. You said your piece.
Yeah, well, how far are we from the break? We're like 2 pages away, so we actually do need to actually pick up the pace. We're almost at 15 minutes. Oh my god.
Yeah, that means that. Sorry, guys, but you need to stop talking as much.
Imagine the scene from Master of Disguise. This is what you're doing. This is what I want you to do. Anyway, Finn was silent for a moment, despite the fear that he was willing to tell him that. Despite the fear that he was feeling, telling him that those were just empty words, they felt reassuring. Aliana's presence felt oddly reassuring. I wonder if her presence was reassuring. As he thought about it, he made it this far away from the First Order thanks to her. He knew what she was capable of, and she wanted to help. There was so very little he was certain of after defecting. Still, he felt he could be certain of her at least, because she was so reassuring. Well, thank you, he said with a nod. I appreciate that, and I guess I should stick around to cover your back too, huh? Also, I forgot
Oh.
that. Favorite that. Aliana was about to crack a joke when she stopped. She knew Finn was a defector of the First Order. She could probably, at the very least, it'd be nice to have one person she could call a friend that knew. Not Han? Fuck you too.
Yeah, what?
Actually, there is something you should know. She stepped back from him and pulled her lightsaber off her belt, holding it up and activating it. The crimson blade shot out of the hilt with a sharp squeal and bathed both of them in red light. And he immediately was like, "Oh, you stole a lightsaber from someone else too. Great. No wonder you had experience." It's like, "No, I'm a Sith Lord," she said. "Dark Omarosa." It's like the family chain
Wait,
restaurant?
or-
It's like, no, that's Pandarosa.
Also,
Will be better,
aren't they
though.
outside?
Finn jumped back a good foot, less shocked by the revelation that he already knew and more started by the sight of her drawn weapon. Jeez!
Started, yes.
He squeaked before clearing his throat. I mean, okay, I believe you, and I'd appreciate if you put that away now. Sorry.
I mean, oh my God, lightning!
How? How?
Wait,
That was like a span of
What did he-
1 minute, man.
Lightning is in his hands.
No, he's blindingly fast.
Oh my
No,
god.
the fucking his hands are in the fucking future. He has precognition, I swear.
How the hell did you?
Read the
Jesus.
chapter.
Anyway, sorry, Aliana said, deactivating her lightsaber and hooking it back to her belt. I'd appreciate it if you didn't tell Rey. It's nice having friends, I guess. I've traveled alone for a very long time, and I don't want to risk ruining everything. She's probably not going to be around for very long, so I'd like to make the most of it. We kind of skipped the U-Haul lesbian phase and just went straight to ghosting each other.
It's been like 2 days.
Someone
You
else
all
just
let me
died.
walk.
I have no idea. Like someone in the background was yelling and dying. Anyway, Fenn went to say something before he hesitated and thought about Aliana's request. He nodded in understanding and stepped closer to her. I won't tell her, so long as you don't tell her that I was a stormtrooper, he said, deciding he could trust Aliana with that information. I don't know if I'm going to stick around for much longer, but I'd hate to leave on a bad terms with Rey. Or you. I already knew. The Force, you know, Aliana shrugged. That's why I figured I could tell you. It's like,
that's not how the Force works.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You don't have to say it.
That's not how the Force works.
We have it now.
I added that.
Yep.
Also, Moopa. Yes, this is the part where Finn tells her the truth. So it'd be hilarious if he turns around and is like, so by the way, I'm a stormtrooper. Damn it! Okay, that's fair, Finn conceded. So when we get the information to the Resistance, what's your next move? I don't really know, Aliana frowned, looking down at her feet. I promised this dying old man that Tuanol that I'd help fight the First Order, but honestly, I don't think the Resistance would accept me. General Organa already knows who I am, and she didn't seem all that pleased that I was involved in the first place. Maybe hunt Kylo Ren seems about the best thing I could do. What were you doing before this, motherfucker? Like, that's you're just kind of plopped into this as though you're going to, like, be involved in the story doing nothing. Well, Finn paused, trying to find the right words for what he wished to say. Perhaps you could want some company? Outcasts looking out for each other or something? Or, fuck buddies? What was that? Not outcasts looking out for each other or something?
One of
that is
those.
disgusting. Finn deserves better.
Oh, yeah, no.
No,
the thing is,
no.
Finn doesn't know better at this point. He'll learn, don't worry.
Finn needs help.
Dude, that makes it worse.
Sometimes you gotta stick your dick in crazy to know never to do it again. All right, it's just
Oh,
unfortunate
man.
reality for some
It's
people.
true. It's true.
Oh boy, here we go.
Oh,
Anyways,
Yeah, anyway.
Aliana looked up and smiled. Maybe it'd be nice if I made the offer to Rey, but I don't know if that'll hold with her wanting to go back home. And well, I'll have to tell her eventually. I can't not use my lightsaber forever. I don't know why you just didn't tell her it was a working lightsaber you stole from someone. You could just have done that.
Yeah, what the fuck?
She looked out towards the forest, watching a few trees sway in the wind. I do not intend to fight the First Order, though. I'm not running. Oh, I do intend. Okay, no, I was going to be like, that's weird. No, she does intend to fight the First Order. My bad. My misread.
Oh.
Thanks. We didn't need to know that. Anyway. I feel like an ass saying that, but it's like we're in the middle of you didn't need to announce that. Finn's gaze fell to his feet. Despite the reassurance of they're just both looking at their feet right now. It's like their toes are very interesting. Despite the reassurance of this talk, he still wasn't sure if he wanted to stay and fight or run and hide. His first thought on escaping was to run. He hadn't thought about it beyond that, just to get away from the First Order and figure it out from there. Turning around and fighting them just seemed like asking to be shot. But if he didn't, there was no guarantee that Rey or Aliana wouldn't be put in danger. Sure, they could take care of themselves, but if something did happen to them, he would never know. And Poe had already been killed, and the fear and adrenaline had kept him from really dealing with his loss. He wasn't certain he could do that again. At the very least, he still had some time to think about it before they made their next move. He just hoped that the First Order wouldn't catch up to him before then. I see. I guess it's a good thing I defected when I did, huh? Finn said. I certainly wouldn't want to be up against you in a fight. I wouldn't want to be against you either. But that's because I'm just playing to your feelings.
I wouldn't want to fight me neither.
Why do they keep calling Kylo Ren a Dark Jedi? He's a Sith. He draws power from Raw. Because Aliana thinks that Sith aren't bad people. Like, legitimately.
Because Lily doesn't think that Sith are bad people.
Yeah. Lily does not understand
What's the difference?
She needs to make a Dark Jedi that is somehow worse than the Sith, even though by definition a Dark Jedi would somehow be better than the Sith, because Sith are by nature very fucking evil.
Yes.
Also, I wonder if this is how Lily is trying to explain how Finn thinks the Force can do anything, because the Force for Aliana can do anything.
Yeah.
I would like to requote Han Solo. That's not how the Force works.
It is for Aliana, because she's a self-insert.
Bad writing trumps your logic.
Look, it's a lesser-known discipline of the Force, all right?
Marius Suius.
Let us never forget that Force healing exists, and thus completely negates all of Anakin's
I
story.
like to pretend it doesn't exist.
You might want to bring that up with the EU, my guy.
You have to.
I do bring it up with the EU. I have very big issues with everything Star Wars that isn't even the main the original 6 films.
All right.
Even
well,
the
if you start
original
to
3
have some
films have
issues with
problems.
if you start to have some issues with the Revenge of the Sith video game, we're gonna have some problems here, my man.
Okay, the
boys,
alternate ending was based.
Let's move on.
Anyway,
Raymond.
I know. Don't worry, I'm only
Going after
my
you
section,
too.
Then you'll be in charge. Finn clapped a hand on Aliana's shoulder. I'll watch your back if you watch mine. Aliana just stares at his hand. It's like, who told you you could touch me? Deal. I know it might seem cruel to some, especially Jedi, but I don't show mercy to anyone who attacks me. That includes putting your hand on my shoulder. Aliana said, shaking her head. My mother made that mistake once, and it killed her. Finn felt a twisting in his stomach. Oh, I'm sorry, he said softly. Aliana shook her head again. Don't be. You haven't done anything. She felt a shiver run up her spine as she remembered that day so many years ago. She shut her eyes tightly and tried to force the thought from her mind. We should go back inside, she said. Thanks for understanding. Yeah, no problem. Good talk, he said, somewhat awkwardly. Glad we had it. With that, Finn followed her back into the castle. As they stepped through the entranceway, they saw BB-8 rolling up to them. The droid gave the two a series of concerned beeps. Apparently, the table sent him to go check on them. We're all right, sweetie, Aliana smiled, reaching down and patting his semi-dome. Just had a chat. What are these memes now? For reasons we can't explain, we are losing her. Master Yoda, We should use the Force Heal. No, Lamau.
Love that. How Force Heal being introduced fully into the movie is,
My ass,
is a
I am
great.
laughing off.
Yeah, I know,
All
right?
I just don't feel like it.
If the Sith effortlessly disarming and almost killing him wasn't bad enough, the inevitable report to the Supreme Leader was the perfect cherry on top of what was quickly becoming the single worst day of his life. Kylo Ren's anxiety hadn't abated once he'd fled the Fury, and without his lightsaber he couldn't vent his anger on every solid surface like he usually could. And it was a lot harder to keep the crew in line without it. Especially not since the stormtroopers had started to refer to the Sith as Amorosa from Human Resources when word got out that she'd stolen his weapon. Okay, that's kudos,
genuinely
Lily. That
funny.
was actually a good joke.
Human, what now? What about alien resources?
Oh, the First Order is racist.
It's the
There's
First
no
Order.
aliens.
Yeah, what the fuck, man? It's fine.
As Red rode the turbo lift to the Supreme Leader's throne room on the Supremacy, he could hear the remarks and snickering from his subordinates in his head. It was infuriating. He'd been made into a laughingstock on his own ship, and now on the Supreme Leader's dreadnought. He kept assuring himself that he would put the Sith in her place, but the knowledge of how she'd effortlessly overpowered him without even drawing her lightsaber wouldn't leave his thoughts. Taking a deep breath, he stepped onto the bridge and looked up at the throne. Snoke was sitting there, looking very displeased. Supreme Leader, he said, kneeling before him. I've discovered the identity of the renegade Sith. Have you? Snoke asked, his raspy voice echoing slightly in the open space of the chambers. I am rather surprised that you demonstrate any capability when this Sith is involved. His tone was thick with sarcasm and condescension. And what have you learned from the Sith's identity, my apprentice? Surely something useful. You wouldn't be foolish enough to approach me otherwise. Her name is Darth Amorosa, and she was last seen flying in an ancient Fury-class Imperial Inceptor.
So just like
Ren
the
explained.
restaurant, like the restaurant train. Why does everyone keep assuming that?
Very strange.
Ren explained, trying to push past Snoke's patronizing tone and focus on delivering whatever information he possibly could to redeem himself in his master's eyes. I've personally been on the ship. It is a capable vessel that would prove to be an asset if we could capture it. And the Sith and her apprentice would be valuable if they could be recruited.
One moment here. Danny
The
Boy Super Chat, just popping in to show some monetary appreciation for making Fixing Ruby. Hope you have a lovely night reading that compilation of words Lily wrote. Thank you, Danny Boy.
That's a set of words. Actually, sorry, a compilation of words is indeed the best way to describe this.
The dictionary
honestly.
remix that she composed.
Yes.
The last bit caught Snoke's attention. Her apprentice, you say? Snoke asked, each word drawn out as he leaned forward slightly in interest. He has clearly read the script. A small smile spread across his heavily grotesque face. A malleable mind already familiar with the dark side? That would be an excellent resource for us. His expression sobered slightly as he looked back down at Ren. How confident are you that this apprentice can be turned to our cause? If their master has proven to be your superior, it may prove difficult to convince them of our strength. The Sith is not my superior, Ren hissed, staring down at the floor. I simply underestimated her. I will not make that mistake again, Master. I will destroy her, and her apprentice will be mine. Snoke narrowed his eyes at Ren, tempted to reprimand him for the outburst alone. I had such high hopes for you. Your bloodline is so strong in the Force. I looked at you and saw potential. A force of nature that could rival your grandfather. He paused and bore his gaze down at Ren, ensuring that the Dark Jedi could feel his power and disappointment through the Force. This is your last chance to convince me that I wasn't mistaken. When next we speak, you best have completed your mission. Yes, Master, Ren said quietly, seething with rage. He stood up and slowly left the room, his mind burning with hatred for the Sith and determination to destroy her and take her apprentice for himself. Look, General, I'm telling you if a stormtrooper can renounce the First Order and salvage the mission, there's no reason to think a Sith can't be our ally, Poe said as he followed an increasingly irritated Leia around the base. She saved my life and she has BB-8. Why are you so convinced that this is a trap? The Sith live to deceive, Captain. It's how they operate, Leia replied, her voice firm in its conviction. Emperor Palpatine spent years of his life convincing the galaxy that he only wanted what was best for the Republic, when he was only concerned with gaining more power. Even if this Sith is unlike any the galaxy has ever seen and truly means well, we have no way of knowing that it will stay that way. But Emperor Palpatine kept his identity secret, Poe argued. Emarosa identified herself the moment that she answered your call. She has been completely transparent with you. If something went bad or something suspicious happens, she's going to be the immediate suspect. Why paint a target like that on her back, if not to show that she can be trusted? Leia sighed. Poe, your heart is in the right place, but you don't know the Sith like I do. They have secrets upon secrets. What happens if we accept her aid to fight the First Order and she comes out of the war stronger because of our efforts? What happens when the Sith shares no common enemy with us anymore? These are important things to consider.
We gotta be careful. If she gets too much XP, like solo XP, she's just gonna like out-level all of us, man.
Yeah.
She's gonna get all the legendary gear, man. Come on.
She might
I'm
unlock
back.
Force
What I
Lightning.
miss?
Like, we don't want her to reach like level 15, all right?
I'm back. What did I miss?
Nothing important.
You don't have to ask. Well, we won't have to consider if the First Order wipes us out, Poe said, sighing in exasperation. General, why are we so determined to find Luke Skywalker? Because we need the Jedi. A single lightsaber on the battlefield inspires so many people. Well, a lightsaber just fell into our lap, and we're scrambling to find one, and if you want to turn it away just because you think she might deceive us, we might not find Luke. We might find Luke only for him to refuse to fight. There's a
He clearly
skilled
read the
Force user.
script.
Yeah. There's a skilled Force user out there with 2 people in tow who are strong in the Force. This is a gold mine, General.
Hold on. Wait, how does he know that the other 2 were strong in the Force anyway?
How does he know? Has gold, like, I'm trying to remember, has gold ever been referenced in Star Wars?
Gold is the thing. There is gold materials, but not gold itself.
I was gonna
All the
say,
gold in the
like,
galaxy is currently on C-3PO right now.
Oh wait, yeah. Gold plating at least exists.
I would say like this would be like a, I don't know, freaking what's the Beskar? It's like a Beskar mine or something like that. I don't know why you would go with gold.
Duragold?
Beskar.
They're like electrum plated is.
You
like
are
the
out of line,
closest.
Captain, Leia said. You are out of line, Captain, Leia said, her frown deepening. The Sith have caused nothing but death and misery to the galaxy, and I will not risk the future of the Republic for short-term gain. She let out an exasperated sigh and turned her attention back to the hollow terminal before her. You are dismissed. Poe wanted to continue to argue. It was possibly his best trait, aside from flying a starfighter. As far as he was concerned, Leia was throwing away an extremely valuable asset based on information that wasn't holding up to reality. Yes, we know. That was what the whole fucking argument was about. Jesus fucking Christ, Lily.
Teddy Bear Paladin says, so Lily played the Old Republic to base this charitable take on the Sith, the game where the Sith run a racist, slaving, expansionist empire where the Sith can murder normal citizens with impunity?
It's
Yes.
essentially yes.
I don't think she
Unironically,
paid much
that's what she's
attention to the
doing
Old
this,
Republic.
She's a bad person, sympathizes with bad people.
Because she
who,
was a Sith that just ran around doing the light options, because I guess that's how you can play the game if you really wanted to.
Even the light options are still bad. What is it?
Well, yeah, I mean, we can talk about the efficacy of that game anyway, but...
Yeah. Emarosa had so many opportunities to take out the Resistance and never took a single one. She could have killed him and written his death off as the fighter crashing and nobody would have batted an eye. Instead, she'd saved his life and brought him back to the Resistance. Yes, that doesn't mean that she's a good person, Poe. It just means that she knows how to get people on her side.
Yeah, how do you think Palpatine rose to power anyway? It's by being a freaking master manipulator. He probably pulled shit like this all the freaking time.
He did.
He did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. He did.
She knew exactly where the resistance base was. If she was a First Order spy, she would have completed her mission in totality. She had the information to destroy the resistance once and for all, and she wasn't acting on it. After his experience with Finn, Poe was convinced that this Sith was not an enemy, and he was convinced that Leia's fear would do more harm than good. He needed to get a hold of her. "Captain!" a voice shouted behind her. Poe turned to see Paige Tico running up to him. "Apologies, Captain, but you left Medbay before we completed your examination. The Medbot is asking I return you to them immediately." Her eyes scanned Poe up and down to see if there were any obvious signs of him being unwell. "Although you appear to be well enough, I could tell them that I gave you a med scan myself and that everything is green." "Appreciate it," Poe said, an idea suddenly hitting him. "Listen, Paige, can you get me the hollow frequency of Darth Amorosa? I want to get into contact with her. I don't like Leia's dismissal of her help. I think it's extremely self-destructive, and you are being insubordinate."
Also,
Yeah,
like,
just
this
fresh off
random
the boat,
person just knows how to like find the hollow code to pay to get. What the fuck?
Sure.
Why do you expect her to know it? Also,
I-
Poe just like being like, "Hey, Paige, if you could do me a favor and just kill your sister. Trust me, it's gonna save everyone a whole bunch of problems."
Oh my god.
Or you're just get her transferred.
Crazy.
Get her transferred. Like, you don't even have to kill her. Just transfer her somewhere else.
I mean, like maybe when they were drawing the dick on Aliana's ship, they stole her phone number as well.
No, I think
No,
she
they
gave
have
it to them.
She had.
Yeah.
She gave it to them, but like, I imagine that'd be like under lock and fucking key. You wouldn't just have a random person from your staff be able to access the fucking phone number to
Of a
someone
Sith.
you consider like, I don't know, the assassin of Hitler. Like, I don't know if you would
Yeah.
have that on speed dial for your average like military personnel.
Yeah.
I mean,
they-
how
they-
else is the
classified.
fan mail supposed to get there?
Paige just stared wide-eyed at Poe, dead silent for a moment. Why are the dots two... Is one of them bolded? I think one of them is.
Yeah, one of them, the first one's bolded. I don't know why. Or
That's
maybe they're
weird.
like different sizes. Maybe that's it.
Oh no!
I did not know that you could bold
sometimes like
dots.
Word. This might actually just be like a technical thing. Word does this thing where you type in an ellipses and it actually spaces it out to be like the ellipses like single character, as opposed to
Yeah.
just 3 dots in a row, and that can get fucky sometimes
I
between the
see.
two. So I think that's what's happening there.
I don't
Got
think
it,
we
got
have
it,
that
got it.
problem with LibreOffice.
Probably not.
Like, you have to, I think, actively do something to get it to do that, but... Memory of the hollow frequency would be in the command center's main computer. It's just that without the general's clearance, it could be tricky and treasonous to get a hold of. Are you sure it's that important? She asked. You do realize that you were asking me to commit treason, right?
Yeah, bro. What in the absolute fuck? Like.
I know you're
Gamer,
Oscar
commit
Isaac.
treason.
Oh, Billy Donuts! Yay!
Yay!
Just in time to
Yay!
Billy!
The goat has returned.
It's
Who's
Poe's
Billy?
Poe's just like, "Don't worry, Paige," and just hands her a donut and like, "I got you." And it's like, oh, and like the donuts, like you get like the commercial music starts up, like, best da 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 da, everything's better with donuts, including treason.
Like, oh, I know you look like Oscar Isaac, but even that's not enough.
Oh, definitely not. In truth, she did meet Darth Amorosa, if only for a moment at the safe house. She was surprisingly reasonable and respectful for what she expected of a Sith, which wasn't even considering the fact that she brought Poe back to them alive. She knew that might not have been enough to go on terms of possibly committing treason, but Captain's Dameron endorsement just might. Captain's Dameron endorsement.
Isn't he still a commander at this point? Wasn't he demoted in
exactly.
Jeff the Last Jedi?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
It's the first movie still. We're not in the second movie.
So yeah, he'd be commander.
No, wasn't he captain, then promoted to commander, then demoted back to captain?
No, he was always
It's
commander.
flexible.
Okay, all right.
So
Pretty sure he's even called commander
Okay,
in the Force
we've
Awakens.
established it.
Alright.
Anyway,
yeah. We need a lightsaber on our side, if only to inspire people, Poe argued. I don't care if that lightsaber is blue, green, red, or purple. She's helping us, despite Leia's dismissal. We can't turn that down.
This is so fucking stupid.
You're an idiot.
is it just the
Thank
lightsaber
you.
we fucking need?
Like-
can we?
Like, I kind of
He
understand.
doesn't-
Given,
Oh, night, Moopa.
Yeah, but we already established why that's stupid.
He does remember one of the most feared men in the galaxy used a red lightsaber, right?
Hey, I mean, that guy won a lot of battles.
Go, guys, we need to inspire our troops. Everyone shave down your mustaches to just a little brick below your nose. Trust me,
You
it'll
get it.
inspire
Exactly.
everyone.
Oh
You
my
get it.
god.
Curse
Oh,
Knight,
I get it,
insubordination
because
is
Charlie
always
Chaplin.
fun. They should mute me.
Paige bit her lip as she thought it over. Oh, sorry, Raymond.
Oh, it's fine. I wasn't going to make commentary on that, really.
Sorry.
Paige bit her lip as she thought it over. The mission to find Luke Skywalker was considered their most important one to date. If having someone who could use the Force was this important, perhaps this was worth the risk.
No.
I think I
No.
have a favor or two from those in the command center. I'll see what I can do.
Oh, great. So not only is she committing treason, she is now roping even more people into committing treason. Wonderful.
Double treason.
This
Hell
Our
yeah.
heroes, ladies and
The
gentlemen.
cycle of
Yeah, this is smart because you need layers of insulation so people
Yeah.
can't track it back to the original treasoner.
Of course.
Hey, treason is the ultimate group activity. It's better than it's better than poker night.
Damn.
That's crazy.
Hey, if you have enough people on a treason, it's called a revolution now.
Oh, nice.
Anyway,
Aliana groaned when she heard her comm link start beeping in her pocket. Pulling it out, she excused herself and withdrew to an empty table. What is it, 2V? Pardon me, Miss Benico, but you have another call coming on your personal holo channel, 2V's voice said from the other end. It's the pilot you rescued from Jakku. Dameron? Aliana looked surprised. That's odd. Tell him to hold on. I'll be right there. With a quick word to Rey that she'd be back, Aliana took off in a run toward the Fury. Once inside, she activated the main holo terminal in the center of the flight deck and saw the image of Poe Dameron projected before her. This is Darth Amorosa of the Sith warship Fury, Aliana recited. What can I do for you, Captain? Well, for starters, I want to thank you for saving my life, Poe said with a smile. I'd likely be rotting in the desert right now if you hadn't come along. Second, is BB-8 okay? He's a little banged up, but otherwise he's all right, Aliana nodded. He doesn't actually know you're alive, though. I couldn't identify you, so I didn't want to get his hopes up. That's fair, Poe said with a nod. I'll be sure to greet him myself when you all get to Dakar. His expression became slightly more serious. We can expect you to join the others when they arrive, correct? I don't mean to sound desperate, since you've done so much for us already, but we can certainly use someone like you in the Resistance. I got the impression I wasn't welcome when I spoke with General Organa, Aliana said, raising an eyebrow. She gave me a lot of backhanded remarks and thinly veiled accusations of deceit. Has she had a change of heart? Poe sucked air through his teeth. Well, she would certainly have me ousted if she knew I was calling you, if that answers your question, he said with a grimace. The General has her reasons for not trusting you, but I don't have to agree with those reasons or ignore their lack of rationality. The fact of the matter is, you've already proven yourself trustworthy, and we cannot afford to be picky. Like, maybe this is all some kind of grand fourth-dimensional evil Sith scheme of yours, but if the galaxy has to perish for that plan to fail, then it's not worth turning you away.
I was gonna say, like, this actually could be a compelling plot point. The idea of, like, okay, the character's a Sith, and one character has a reasonable expectation of Sith being completely balls to the walls evil, and the other one is like, no, but she saved me, she helped me
Kind of
out doing
desperate,
that.
yeah.
Like, there's something there, but like it's been so poorly done because we haven't seen anything negative about Aliana, quote unquote, other than
Yeah.
she's kind of dismissive of people. That's about it.
Well, there's also the fact that she may or may not be G-wording Rey.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
But,
Like, I think that this would work a lot better if this wasn't from Aliana's perspective, because it kills a lot of the tension.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and not only that, but like I love how the trauma of Aliana is taken seriously, and to some extension, Finn, and I guess maybe Rey. But Leia's freaking trauma of, having her freaking father becoming the fucking Hitler 2.0 and having the entire galaxy threatened by this one motherfucker. Yeah, let's just push that shit to the side.
Let us not forget that Leia was actively tortured by her father in the first film.
And let's not forget
her just blew up her home
We all
planet.
kind of seem to forget that, don't we?
Yeah, and let's not also forget. And let's not also forget, if we run with the Hitler metaphor, her son has technically become a neo-Nazi. So
yeah,
that's something else to think about.
It's really embarrassing how Lily does not take into account how these characters genuinely feel.
Yeah, no. It's all part of her black and white thinking.
Running theme.
Very racist.
Oh, good. My secret plans to My secret plans to revive the Sith Order and gain the trust of the galaxy get to stay alive just a little while longer, Aliana snickered, leaning back against the console. That's not something that you should joke about, Aliana.
Yeah, that's kind of in very poor taste.
Yeah,
especially
if you were like,
I completely
very
get
real possibility.
Yeah, I get that you're not being serious, but that is like a genuine fear of theirs, so you shouldn't spur on and justify their fear.
There
of
is
that.
a way to play that.
Aliana, the
but that
kind
was
of
not
person to go to an airport and make a bomb joke.
Yeah.
Why is everybody running? It's just a joke.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, your stormtrooper friend is here too. He's doing all right, but it looks like the First Order's got him spooked. Well, it's good to know he's okay, Poe said with a smile. Finn's easy to spook, but he's got a good heart. Give him a little push and he'll do the right thing.
I was about to ask how he knew Poe's name, but then I remembered, wait, never mind.
Well, no, it's not even the name. It's just like, you spent like a grand total of like an hour with him max? How do you know any of this was written?
Oh yeah, and he's speaking of him like they're lifelong friends already.
Yeah.
That's just how good their bond is. Shut up.
My apologies. I'll have to forgive the almighty and definitely all-knowing author.
The captain looked over his shoulder as if checking as to whether he was being watched. I can try to smooth things over before you all arrive, but I can't guarantee that they'll pull out the welcome wagon when you land. But they will listen, whether they like it or not. What, are you gonna force them? At, like, gunpoint?
Yeah, with the Force.
Jeez.
She'll use the Force.
Honestly, Organa doesn't bother me, Aliana shook her head. Jedi are always obstinate and hostile. I've seen that kind of behavior before, and honestly I have no interest in reviving an ancient and pointless blood feud. I'll help you regardless of whether Organa welcomes me or not. Good to hear. Thanks, Darth. Poe said before pausing and then chuckling. Huh. Never thought I'd hear myself say that. He scratched the back of his head awkwardly. So, do I just call you Darth? Or Lord Amorosa? Or... Buy her dinner first, dude.
Bruh, as
Lord...
if he does not swing that way.
It's just, why do you have to be so awkward when just asking, just like, what should I refer to you as?
I mean, to be fair, this actually, I think, is in character for Poe. He does have that kind of like, so, do I just call you Darth or Lord Amorosa? Or like, he has a sort of like, not nervous tick, but kind of a jokester type feel to him a little bit.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
so do I call you mein Führer or just Dolph?
Oh my god.
That's crazy, man.
Do I
He's
call
got
him
Marvel movie.
Like
He's got.
Okay, all right.
Lord Amorosa will do for now, Aliana nodded. I have a name, but I'd prefer to say my Sith name for most people.
Okay.
Understood.
Aliana, when you get to the base and you want to hide your identity from Rey, that's going to be a problem. I'm just pointing that out.
Yeah,
buddy.
you
Bro.
dumb bitch. Oh my god.
I don't know
No,
if she's
not a lot
known
of
for her
foresight here.
forethought.
You really should rush to rip that Band-Aid off, like, real fucking fast at this point.
Yeah, especially if, like, Leia gets involved, she's just gonna call you Darth Amorosa. Then there will be no hiding that shit. Understood. Thank you again, your lordship, Poe said respectfully. Is there anything else about the situation we should know? First of all, I said Lord Amorosa, not your lordship. Shut the fuck up, Aliana. He's being respectful.
Fucking pissant.
Yama, he's
Yeah.
trying. You absolute bitch.
Aliana said, pursing her lips. Second, I'm trying to get Rey and Finn on the clean ship to Dakar. The First Order intercepted the Fury and Kylo Ren boarded us. I disarmed him and almost killed him, but he used the Force to hurt Rey, and I had to let him go to check on her. I kept his lightsaber, though. Poe's eyes widened. He very much remembered Kylo Ren. He remembered being taken prisoner by him. He certainly remembered the Dark Jedi invading his mind and peering into his memories as much as he'd like to forget. His experience with Force users was very limited up to that point, as his first encounter was extremely unpleasant. To
Really?
recruit someone who could defeat him so easily. Yeah, we definitely need you on our side, he said plainly. Aliana cocked an eyebrow at Poe's reaction to what she considered to be a mundane piece of information. Because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Oh, yeah, by the way, the super hyper mega magic assassin that kind of leads our main opposition, I just casually disarmed him barehanded in the middle of a fist fight when he was
what the
armed with a
fuck?
lightsaber. Like, I would be
why
like,
wouldn't-
excuse me, can I just, like, leave? Because you scare the shit out of me. You're not even
Yeah,
against me.
literally a couple of days ago, that dude nearly fucking killed him. And Aliana should know this by now. He was trying to get BB-8 away from him.
If I could abridge
So, like-
series this, Ryan was Ryan in the credit or the comments was like, but Raymond, Rey has been portrayed as a genuine oblivious moron, so her being called Darth in front of her will probably go over her head. If I were to write the abridged of this, someone would call her Lord Amorosa, and Aliana would turn. It's like, no, call me Pandarosa. They're thinking of the restaurant. Like, just take my running gag. And
Oh my
suddenly
God.
have her
Resurgence,
use it
let's
instead.
do it.
Also, Ryan, that was not Raymond that said it. That was me who said that. So,
Yeah.
all right. Let's see. Something the matter, Captain? You seem distressed. Poe shook his head. Oh, it's nothing. It's just my experience with Kylo Ren was less than pleasant, he said, his face contorting in phantom pains. Something he was more than capable of ignoring when there were more pressing matters to take his mind off the experience. Less so when the conversation forced him to dwell on it. Aliana's air of professionalism dropped and she looked at him with concern. Are you going to be all right?
Oh my
It looks
God.
like whatever he's done is sticking with you.
Oh my God, is she really doing
Have
this?
you ever been on a phone call trying to negotiate an important like merger between two major things, and the guy online is like, "Hey, you don't look so well. Would you like some professional help for your mental health?" Like unrelated to this very professional call that I'm trying to complete.
Oh my God.
Trauma dumping.
Again, like if Aliana was actually a evil villainous person, the Resistance would be fucked.
I would
Yeah.
love, honestly, like a more realistic version of this where Aliana really was kind of a cold-hearted bitch. Maybe she had a soft spot for Rey, but like, in terms of like the emotional aspect, she was just like very curt and cold to like Poe in this conversation. It's like, I saved your life. Be thankful. You owe me. Like, she's calling in a favor here. That's what this would be. This would be her calling in a favor.
Yeah. I He paused, unsure what to say. I can worry about what he's done later. I don't think it's going to go away, but I can work past it for now. All right, Aliana nodded, deciding not to press the issue further. Whatever Ren has done was something Poe clearly didn't want to talk about. Yes, we know! Stop telling the reader what you already told us!
Hello reminded him of Catherine. Sorry.
And trying to force him would only make things worse. Well, if it's any consolation, I fully intend to kill him. That did bring a smile back to Poe's face. I certainly appreciate that, Lord Amorosa, he said gratefully. We'll help you with that in any way we can once you arrive. I appreciate the help. Amorosa out, Aliana said, shutting off the holo terminal. She sighed and sat down on the couch, rubbing her eyes. Not only was the Dark Jedi trying to murder everything he sees, but he's apparently done something to the pilot that was enough to cause lasting psychological damage. Kylo Ren might be a joke to her, but to people who can't use the Force, even he would be frightening. She stood up and realized just how tired she was. She'd barely slept during the flight to Takodana, and she was starting to feel the effects. She took a deep breath and tried to collect herself before exiting the Fury and returned to Maz's castle. She could sleep later. For now, she just wanted to be with her friends. No! Sleep, bitch!
Oh my god.
What the fuck?
By the way,
Really?
look
No.
how
That felt
Aliana-
personal.
Chris Knight says, looking at how Aliana is portrayed, it makes me wonder how I can type a bad person of protagonist without it coming off like this fanfic, and by bad, I do mean very emotionally and mentally unstable.
Lucky for you, I'm trying to do the same thing.
Also, I love how she added trauma for Poe that he didn't have. Like, that is me interesting. Poe never acknowledges his torture at the hand of Kylo, but
neither did Leia.
Well,
He
neither
powers
did Leia,
through it, honestly.
But I like the idea that Poe is just maybe he's kind of resilient. He's just a resilient dude. That's.
I mean, he is a soldier. He's probably had training to resist that.
You have to remember, actually, Kylo came to him after the entire torture chamber of the First Order failed to break Poe originally.
Yeah, I would. I'd find that honestly, I'd like to see more of this.
Also, I just want to point out once more. So we can have a scene establishing, and respecting Poe and his trauma, and have that be acknowledged. But Leia's whole thing, all that. She's just an old fogey stuck in her ways. We can't listen to her.
Yep.
God.
What the I understand the story is about trying to disrupt the things about the Sith or whatever that have been established in the story, but you can't do this by treating the legit concerns people have like they're fucking stupid.
Yep.
That is maverick behavior.
I'm the only reason I'm willing to forgive that is because it's very clear that Aliana has a very biased view of the Sith. What I'm not going to forgive is the fact that every other character seems to agree with this view.
Yep.
Yeah, just instantly.
Yeah, instantly. That's
so
what makes
much
this
so.
bad writing.
So much so that Poe is willing to commit treason just to contact this person that, by all means, he hasn't known for very long at all.
I still cannot, for the life of me, get over. You literally could have just dropped off the fucking droid. Literally the entire plot would not have happened.
In fact, wouldn't that be interesting if that were a plot point?
That would be interesting, but Lily's not intelligent.
It's not
going to
be. There's no way.
Also, I mean, the only really thing they know is that BB-8 has the map to Luke Skywalker. So really, they don't really need Aliana. They don't know about Starkiller Base. They don't know about anything about Snoke's hidden fleets. They don't know about any of this. So technically, they don't really need her yet.
Nope.
Well, Poe's whole thing was saying that it's not guaranteed that Luke is going to help them, and yet here's just this Sith bitch just on their doorstep. So
yeah,
apparently she's going to help for reasons that we don't know for sure.
No, see,
what the fuck?
Poe is vouching for Aliana because he's clearly read the script of The Last Jedi.
Yeah, I mean,
he's like, guys,
I mean, the
listen.
Resistance.
I've read the script. It's so bad. It needs like 4 more drafts minimum. And like, look, we could use a new character in here. But she's like, she's a freaking Mary Sue. And it's like, I don't care. It will improve the story. How? Just trust me. He's like, just like desperate. It's not even like Poe at this point. It's actually Oscar Isaac just
Trust the
shaking
process.
Leia's chest. It's like Leia, listen to me.
God, that's so. No,
And
see,
she's just like, no, I don't believe that. There's nothing that can make a story with 2 Mary Sues better.
I mean, like,
Serene
honestly,
and
like,
anything.
Are you on drugs?
Twilight, I will say,
he's gonna do
I
anything
would pay
to
money
avoid
to see
Casino
like
Planet.
a story that doesn't take itself too seriously, that has like 2 characters that are clearly meant to be Mary Sue's. But I would love to see a story that just does it for laughs.
Oh yeah.
Like
And
I would kill
Oh,
to
God,
read something like that.
Genuinely.
Also, the joke.
If you watched our streams on Team Jacked this past week, I will always recommend the World of Otome games is hard for mobs. It's not quite 2 Mary Sues. The main character is a complete unlikable jackass, and that lands him in a whole host of trouble. But there are 2 main characters, quote unquote, and they fucking hate each other, and it's wonderful.
That sounds wonderful.
Can we still potentially my thoughts on that? It makes me wonder how I can type a bad person or protagonist without coming off like this fanfic by bad. I do mean, okay, no, you can do that all the time. I mean, okay, you want the best example of that? Joker, the original Joker.
I mean,
like,
legit, sure.
let's be clear. Arthur Fleck is not a good person in that film. He goes. I mean, he's a very tragic person. He's very tragic, and he's very, very likable. But like, once he shoots, like I think it's like 3rd or 4th like dude on the train, or the guy mostly like it really solidified it was the guy,
third guy
who was crawling away was the one that really nailed it, because that was not like in any way self-defense. You couldn't justify that. That was a man just outright committing straight up murder.
Yeah, he shattered at that moment.
Yeah, after that point, he is completely culpable for what he's doing. And he is no longer a quote-unquote likable person. He's still a likable protagonist because we understand where he's coming from, but I think that kind of goes for everyone in reality. If we see their entire life story or a good portion of it, we will genuinely like them and understand why they are doing the things that they are doing, even if we find them morally reprehensible. It's a quirk of a lot of human nature.
I mean, on the one hand, yeah, but on the other hand, there's got to be a line when things cross from, oh, this guy has had some problems and he's just got a bad view of the world, to no, this guy is legitimately evil no matter what he's done or what's been done to him in the past.
The thing is, we're drawing a line between the meta and the character in the universe. Arthur Fleck in Joker, I mean, just using because it's such a good example. When he takes that last life, or the life of the guy that's crawling away, he goes from being a good person in a self-defense situation to an evil person who's now committed murder. He has a mark of evil on him. And in the universe, I would actually not be surprised if people just outright hated him for the rest of his life. But as a meta, he could still go down, he goes down the route of killing more people. He brutally in some circumstances and on live television, and yet the audience still like him because they still understand his plight. Like, we enjoy him as a character and understand him and feel sympathy towards him, but it doesn't mean we idealize what he actually does. Like that's the important distinction.
But Raymond, Lily hates it when fucking people with mental illnesses are painted as the bad guy. That's bad.
People don't understand that there is a difference between sympathy and empathy.
Yeah.
And that's something that I've actually noticed with a couple of people in my comment section, where they've left comments like there was one guy that I had a small conversation with, and he's like, "Why would you put Draco Malfoy as a sympathetic character?" And it's like, "Wait, you don't think that he's sympathetic?" "No, I don't like him as a character." "Okay, but why?"
And
Twilight, you're breaking up.
And like,
hello, Twilight, you're breaking up.
You're the one breaking up, Dreadnought. Everyone else can hear her fine.
You're the one. is like, okay, you like, well, I thought that his mother was a lot more sympathetic. Okay, so just so that we're clear, you don't think that you can have sympathy for someone who is blackmailed and coerced into committing a murder that he doesn't want to commit. You have no sympathy for that. He's like, well, if you put it that way, yes, that is exactly what makes a character sympathetic. Just boil it down to the base thing. You have to get rid of all of the other context for what this character is and your personal biases. You have to boil it down to the things that make this character who they are and what struggles that they're going for, and figure out what makes that character sympathetic. It doesn't matter what they do about it, whether it's good or bad. What matters is the initial thing that makes them sympathetic in the first place.
Jonah Williams, what about a protagonist who's a horrible person and still being written as a character we want to root for and see get better? Sort of like BoJack Horseman, if you've ever seen the show. I have not seen BoJack. I have no interest in BoJack.
I've seen the first season. He's absolutely right.
But
I'm actually like...
well, I was going to say, like, Jinx from Arcane.
Yeah, I was about to
Excellent example. I want to see her get
I'll give
better.
you one. I'll give you one
You
better.
want me to spoil
Walter
my
White-
video even more, huh, Ray?
Wait, actually, can I give a really good example of a character like that?
Go for it, though. I'm running out of time. I need to sign off.
Harley Quinn in certain continuities.
Yeah.
The asterisk
pretty
of
much.
certain continuities makes me laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope we all got a delightful conversation out of that. I need to head off because it is late. I hope you all enjoyed that. Please remember to join us for Team Jacked on Tuesdays at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And yeah, I don't know if I have anything else I need to say. For anyone that's my $10 patron, I've messaged you all on Patreon, but if anyone wants to up their Patreon, you can do that as well. But you can get background characters in Stellar Sentinels. I don't mention that often enough. I need to start really promoting that. So if you want a background character in my upcoming animatic project, please let me know. $10 on my Patreon, and we can get to working on that. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching, and we'll catch you all on the flip side.
Good night,
Bye.
everybody.
Goodbye.
Deuces.
Bye.
Good night.